Hello all. Today we're going to go through the Titanfall 2 trophies. A lot of times when you try to go for trophies, you find several different resources on the internet, and this is just going to be one way to streamline everything. First, we're going to really start off by going through the story, and then all the optional trophies that come along with it, we're going to go through the story at the same time. So, for example, Chapter 4 has a trophy that's very easy to get there, and Chapter 9 has a few opportunities as well to get some of the side trophies. Now this is easily probably the hardest trophy in the game, but it actually is right from the start. The gameplay you're seeing here is from PS5 Trophies. During this video, he really goes through in depth, slow mode, how you are able to get the gauntlets, how to get through the whole gauntlet in time. Here I'm just going to show you his run that he did just to prove that he did get the trophy, and I'll let you go to his YouTube channel and actually see his slow-mo and how he cuts every turn. But just the first thing I'm going to tell you here though, this turn right here is the hardest. If you can get this in your run, you have a good chance of getting this trophy. To add on to this trophy, the key thing you need to do is make sure that you keep your high speed time at a high percentage. So as you can see here, my average speed was 36.6, which is actually a little lower than probably what you'd want it to be. You probably want it to be more like 35. But the key is to making sure you stay at that max speed for the highest percent of the time during your run. Even here, 8 targets for high speed kills is probably a low. I feel like I got lucky on this run. Not that I couldn't repeat it if I really wanted to. But you want to have a little higher than 8 target speed kill, because that means you're not keeping your percentage high enough. I would say 76 is probably pretty good, but the average speed needs to be higher on this. So just keep that in mind whenever you finish your run and you look at the scoreboard. The Graduates trophy is story related. You really can't miss it, but this trophy will occur about right here when you first exit the Titan. First though, he's going to have you recalibrated, but then you will continue on to your mission. Now for this one, this is also story related. This is just for putting the last power cell inside a BT, so fully powering up BT. Again, story and unmissable. Again, we have another story mission trophy. This is for coming to the rescue of these two. Now this is story, but it is missable. If you let these two pilots die, you will not get this trophy. The trophy itself is for saving these two pilots right here. Now this itself isn't a trophy, but right there, that's a loadout. If you saw the blue highlight around it, you need to collect all 8 of these throughout the entire campaign. They're actually pretty easy to find, and there's a good chance that you'll actually find all loadouts anyways. But just be careful and make sure whenever you see the blue highlight around a weapon kit, you must pick it up.
You were not invited to Kane's party.
This is for defeating Kane. This trophy is also unmissable, as you need to do it in order to progress through the story.
Kane's helmet radio is still intact. We should retrieve it.
When editing this video, I realized I forgot to update the trophy in the top corner, but the trophy for defeating Kane is called Hot Mess. It's called Hot Mess. Now these 2 trophies can be earned back to back. The reason is, one is for climbing on top of a Titan and removing the battery, and the other is for destroying a Titan without actually being in a Titan yourself. So first you saw that he took out the battery. And now he's amazingly throwing a grenade inside the Titan to blow it up. This is also a very good way of getting a multiplayer victory as well, because that is one of the best ways to take down a Titan without having a Titan yourself. And as you see, the trophy should pop your for him at any second. There it is. This trophy is a little bit tricky because it's not really clear. It does say melee takedown, so you have to have that animation that you just saw there. Otherwise, you will not get the trophy. It can't just be a melee. The next trophy is actually my last trophy of the game, and it's Hat Trick. This is very, very the greatest way to do it is Chapter 4. I think it's Section 2, or maybe Section 2, Chapter 4. It's something like that. It's right after you get put into the World Foundry. Now specifically for this trophy, you need to kill 3 Titans using 1 core. And the best way to do it was at this Chapter 4 location, and it's using the burst core, getting down to low health, and then knock them all out. So this is for entering the World Foundry. This is where you're supposed to be taking a shortcut, but it doesn't actually end up going that way, and so you're sent down to the depths of this factory. As you ride your cargo lift down to this next level, you will earn the trophy. Here, the trophy is called Incepted. This is also a story mission, and all you have to do is start climbing on the side, kind of going sideways on these houses here. You'll see that Ash will eventually build these into a vertical looking thing. So this is that area you saw previously that was incepted, so flipped on its side basically. And again, all you have to do is start climbing around. And here's a little bonus helmet there for you. This trophy is for escaping the area. Technically, the trophy says for defeating the Reapers, but you don't actually have to do that, and there's a good chance you won't be able to do that if you're playing on a harder difficulty. Now, this individual decided to kill everybody before going through this area, which could be a smart thing to do, but from my experience, all you need to do is cloak and sneak through, and automatically give you the story checkpoint and whatnot. So if you want to save yourself a little extra time, you can do that. This next trophy is for defeating Ash.
On your head, pilot. Dead or alive.
The best way really to defeat Ash is using the Scorch loadout. I forgot what the name of this one was at first, but you really just want to keep running away from her. As pathetic as that sounds, that is exactly how you do it. Running away, shoot, then use her Scorch's ability. This trophy is a fun one. It's for killing the... what are they called again? Caged Prowler. I always just call them the little annoying things, to be honest with you, but it's pretty easy. As long as you know what you're doing, you find the Caged Prowler, you go into the present, you find it, you go into the present, then you go over there, and then you go back to the past and you kill it. As simple as that. It's easily missable though, because you can run right by it, but as soon as you see the room with the 3 cylinders, you need to do this. This trophy is also unmissable. It's part of the story, and it'll happen whenever you get an announcement from BT while in the laboratory about an Anderson Cooper log. You should see something like a little holographic play. Eventually, you'll look at them. Right there. As soon as you see that, that's when the trophy should be unlocking. Here's another story mission trophy. This is just for completing the mission once you get to the cause and effect mission. Probably one of the best missions in the game where you go from the past to present. And it should unlock right after you finish this. This next trophy is another story mission. You can't really miss it. You have to retrieve the arc tool, and oddly enough this little robot here is carrying it at the end with a little smiley face on his chest. As soon as you retrieve this, you should get the trophy to pop. Not long after the previous trophy, you'll return back to this main little base you got going on here. And as soon as you actually plug it in, or use the arc tool I should say, on everything, you should unlock the trophy. This is a little bit tricky, as long as you're good with the mechanics, and at this point in the game you probably should be. But you have to go into the power room and shut off, or basically turn on every single light source that's in there. And I'll show you this in a second here with this video. So after some dialogue, you'll eventually be able to actually get into this reactor. And these are the lights I was talking about. You simply have to do it for every single one of these, but you are at a time limit because you're only able to be in there for a certain amount of time before the radiation gets through your suit. So, it's not nearly as hard as becomes the master, but it is something to make sure you're aware of. This trophy is easily probably done in this level. I don't think there's really no level you can do it on. But you see those little things? He's about to use the arc tool to, the robots on the side there. He's going to use the arc tool to activate them here in a second. So you need to do that for the Pied Piper trophy. But for the Robot Army trophy, you need to do that 3 more times, so you have a total of 6 robots. This is not very difficult. All you gotta do really is run around and activate a bunch of those. Throughout this entire mission, really, you're gonna see a ton on these platforms. So this one shouldn't be hard. You might actually unlock this without even trying. This trophy is not too confusing, really, because it's part of the story and you're gonna unlock it anyway. But you don't unlock at the end of the mission when you plug it in, but you unlock it once you actually retrieve this little source. This is, again, a linear path. You can't miss it. You have to do this. So, as soon as you unlock this thing, the trophy should pop for you. For this trophy, it is also a story mission trophy. You have to defeat Victor, basically. I found the best way to do it, honestly, was using Scorch, the same thing used for Ash. Right here is actually melee takedown. So as I said before, this melee takedown is a trophy that's also in the game. And I highly recommend, especially on Master, whenever you are facing a Titan and that bar comes up, a little kind of caution tape looking bar. I'll show you here in just a second. See how he has a caution bar right there? Kind of like a yellow, dark brown kind of thing going on. Those are the best opportunities when you get close to execute them using a melee. It's going to save you just time, and on Master it's going to save you precious life. So for this trophy, again, another story one, can't really miss it. But it's for getting to the point where you're seeing the Ark being transported onto the Draconis.
Bliss, this is Sloan. The Ark is headed your way. I'll let Viper take it from here.
Now the trophy may pop here or a little bit later. I know on PS5 it pops a little bit earlier than on PS4, so it does differ a little bit. This trophy is another story mission, and this is for defeating Viper. He was probably one of the hardest bosses, at least for me, on the hardest difficulty. It's highly recommended, I would say, to use North Star loadout. And really, you kind of just want to hide for your life and just keep shooting them and hide for your life. Kind of a classic boss where you tack a little bit. I think this person also uses North Star. I don't see why you wouldn't use North Star. I would hide behind one of these vents that you see. And as you're taking him out, just shoot, hide behind one of the vents, shoot, hide behind one of the vents. And there's a little bit of a trickery there where his missiles don't exactly hit you very much, depending on where you are on the event. So, yes. Here's another story mission, and it's for recovering the Ark successfully after Mission 8. Well, at the end of Mission 8, I should say.
I cannot reach the
For this, you need to go actually inside the Ark and push it into BT. So as you see here, you climb to the Ark, you push the orb, the glowy thing, right into BT. And shortly after this scene, you should, the trophy should pop for you.
This way, Cooper.
This trophy is actually a little bit tricky. You do want to do this when you get BT back, and you have the Death Machine loadout. I believe it's Legion. The problem with this, though, after you use the auto aim, you see how he kind of stepped back a little more, like when he got a little further ahead? That's because they have reinforcements that come in with rocket launchers. And these rocket launchers actually kill their own guys. So as you approach here, you don't want to kill any of them because you don't want to ruin your count. By the way, the trophy is for killing 25 enemies in 2 seconds. So you do need a bunch of enemies combined together in the same spot, and this is really the only location in the entire game that you can possibly do this. But you see how he starts backing up, because those rocket launchers will start killing your own people, especially on Master. So just be wary of that, and maybe you want to do a chapter select after you beat the game in order to do the trophy. So this trophy, it can be done basically, they can both be done at the same time right here. Once you get this auto aim pistol, it makes life a lot easier. You literally can hold down the trigger button while wall running or sliding, and it'll take out all enemies within sight, as long as you have 3 enemies locked onto. And both the trophies are sliding, killing 3 people, and wall running and killing 3 people. You'll see him do it several times here. This is a little bit later in the same exact area.
That's totally a-okay. As you can see in this video, there are plenty of opportunities to grab these during the rest of the mission. I do it about 5
So just do those at any point in this mission and you should be good. This is mission 9, by the way, the final mission. Once Commander tells you that you can call on your Titan here, this is shortly after the last Kung Fu trophy and the sliding trophy for killing 3 enemies while doing those things. You call in BT. This is a story related trophy, so you shouldn't have any problems with it. And as soon as you call him in, the trophy should unlock. One of the, I think the final boss of the story, because technically you don't have to face the next guy, spoiler. But the best way to defeat Sloan is to use Legion, and really run around like you do with every other boss, and just dodge and attack, dodge and attack. During this though, you will get several other Titans that will pop in and try to kill you. But generally speaking, if you're using Legion, you should be alright with the shield. Again, there's the caution thing, and here's another melee execution for you. Eventually. To reinforce the earlier Jack of all trades trophy, I remember saying I had a blue outline of a Titan loadout. This is the 9 or 8 loadouts that I was talking about. As you go through the game, you should be able to pick these all up. Most of them are right in front of your face. You should be able to get all the trophies. So this is just the list of them. By Chapter 9, you should have all of them. This is the trophy for getting all of the collectibles. Now, if you want to see the full video on where every collectible is and where to go, I would highly recommend PS5 Trophies video, which he goes through every single spot, tells you little hints and tricks for everything. So this is the trophy for completing the game on Master. Last 3 trophies you need for the Platinum. They're all multiplayer trophies. First, you want to go to Networks, when the main menu. You want to go to Multiplayer first, but then you want to go to Networks. And you don't have to actually search or do any of this. You can just go right to Browse Networks, and then join one. After that, you want to go to Customize. You might not have everything unlocked first if you haven't played any multiplayer yet. But once you do, you go to Customize, and you go to any of the spots you want to go to, and you want to unlock, or you want to edit, you want to do anything that's to do with your loadout. But specifically, it should be, I would do a Titan loadout, just to be safe, to be honest with you. And then the last thing you really need to do is go into multiplayer and win one match. Some of the fan base is pretty hardcore, but you still should be able to find a lobby that you can win in.